All right, Research School of Science, U.S. side. All right, my name is Jay Taylor. I taught at the school for exactly a month and a half, I think. The school is horrible. Now, this is coming from somebody who's taught in juvenile hall inside the United States. I worked nonprofit and outreach. I worked with kids who were in group homes and foster care for 2 or 3 years. Then I've been teaching internationally for 11 years. I've taught in China, Malaysia, Myanmar, Albania, Montenegro. I'm missing a few in between, but I've done a lot of teaching. So that is to say that I have a lot of experience in schools, and I would say that I'm a competent and confident teacher, and I'm used to having difficult classrooms. I'm a fairly bigger guy. I got tattoos. I got a loud voice. So oftentimes when I start a school, they'll be like, we're going to give you the SEN or the behavioral difficulty children because you can work with them. So I'm used to that. The School of Research Science Dubai was not like that at all. This was a madhouse. The kids run the school. The parents run the school through financial means. The kids are hyper privileged. Lots of money coming from the family. They're never going to want for anything. They know that they have a job. You have to give students a 99% or 100. You can't give them less than that because if you do, the kids will freak out, complain to the parents. The parents will complain to you. Then it just all rolls down on your shoulders. So you're not forced to give them all 100%, but you're strongly motivated to give them 100%. Students don't have to do any work, listen to you, behave, come to class on time, do any of that. If a student decides to come into class an hour late and you mark them late, then they will complain to another person, like a local whose job it is to work there. Then the person will come to you and say, why have you done this? It's a lot of coercion, manipulation, and pressure. Senior leadership team, absolutely abysmal. They are delusional. They're getting big fat salaries to walk around and pretend that the place is not on fire. It is horrible. That is just a great example. The school is on fire, man. It is burning. And they're walking around just like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And you're running around with like a cup of water trying to put the fire out. It is madness. Some teachers thrive there who've been in their school for a long period of time. They've adopted a very hard shell and a very indifferent shell and a very like soldier-like mentality. I'm going to go in. I'm going to put the paperwork on the board. I'm going to tell them to write it down. I'm going to do this. And it's very regimented and it's not a lot about actual learning. This was for my class. Some teachers might have a different experience, but in my interaction with the teachers there, they seem fairly burnt out and just on autopilot, going to the next check, to the next check, to the next check, so that they could take all their money, leave Dubai, and buy property somewhere. That's just my opinion of that situation of them. The teachers are not bad, but they're not the kind of teachers that I want to be. I don't like going into class with a PowerPoint. It's like memorize the PowerPoint, right? It's like rote learning, more or less. You give them all of the answers, you give them all the questions, you give them everything, you hand them everything, you spoon feed it to them. And then when they give you nothing back, then you fill in the blanks where they didn't want to do the work. Don't go there. Don't take a job there, okay? Unless you're desperate and you literally just want like 2 months work and grab some quick cash and move on, do that. If you plan to stay there, you're going to stress yourself out. There are certain elements too about personal safeties. I know a teacher there whose name I can't remember. She's a female teacher. She was assaulted at school. She was trying to get one of the girls to pay attention. She didn't want to. The girl rushed at her, knocked her out of the way. She's like, what the heck happened? It's on camera that the female student assaulted the female teacher. They fired the female teacher. She was afraid she was going to get arrested because the girl, even though she assaulted a teacher, can talk to her parents and get the teacher arrested because they are the foreigner and they're wrong. People, this is not the type of environment for a sane person. I do not recommend teaching here. I strongly advise you do not do it. Anything they promise is a lie. Except for the salary, they will pay you a salary, but it's not worth it because they offer you a salary that's good for a decent school, but then they overload your classes. Your classes are like 50-60% SEN students, whether they're diagnosed or undiagnosed. There is no SEN plan or behavior plan. There is no IEPs actually. Give them A's is what the head of SEN pretty much was like. Give them the easiest work possible and pass them. That's what you do. That's their SEN program. The place is horrible. It is a shit show. Dr. Dawn Stoner, who was my boss, is a liar. She told me all of these things because I called her up on the phone. I read the Glassdoor reviews. My bad. I went there anyway. I called her on the phone and said, hey, just read these Glassdoor reviews. Does not sound very, what's going on here? She's a woman of color. She's from the States. I know all skin folk ain't kinfolk, but I figured I'd call her up. Hey, what's really going on here? Like, these reviews are shocking. And some of them are okay, but like, what's going on? She's like, oh, that was last year. That was under a different program. We've fixed this now. We've reduced our class sizes. We've implemented this new system. Jay, don't worry. You come here. I've got you. I'll support you. We have a team in place. It's going to be good. That bitch lied. I'm going to say it right now, 100. She straight lied, man. There was no support. There was no nothing. The upper administration are delusional. They're just collecting fat paychecks. Man, Dr. Don Stoner wasted my time. I lost money. Getting my documents verified and everything cost a lot of cash because I wasn't in the United States. I lost so much cash going there. Do not go and teach at this school. I'm straight up warning you. If you go there, you are going to regret it, and you're going to be making a video like this. And more teachers need to make videos like this so that when you are applying for this job as someone being like, oh, hey, maybe this will be okay. It's not. It's not, okay? I did not teach in all aspects of the school. I didn't teach in the British school. I did not teach the young learners. So that could be a completely different experience, and I don't want to slander any of the teachers or heads of departments or senior leadership team in that department, okay? I didn't work there, so I don't know what that life was like. I can only tell you what it was like in my area where I worked and what I saw on the boys' side. I hope you take this advice, and don't take it with a grain of salt. Understand I'm being dramatic. In some ways I'm playing a little bit, but if I were just to like strip away the character, strip away the fun of it, if you value your integrity as an educator, you value being respected, you value sharing knowledge and truly contributing to the global citizenship of students, if you value the work that you've put in to earn your master's degree or your doctorates, don't go to a school that treats you like the help. And don't go to a school that lets the students abuse you to the level they do. And don't go to a school where the senior leadership team is indifferent to the actual crises on the ground that are there. Save yourself the time. Do not teach at this school. And if anyone from the school is watching this who's in the senior leadership team, change your school. Shrink your class sizes, implement a real policy, get the principal guy who was walking around the campus who everyone was afraid of, get him to really discipline these kids, get some people in there with some actual teeth to rein these students in so that teachers can actually teach, work can actually get done, progress can be made, and then you can be more than just a building that's in the business of education, but actually an educational facility. My name is Jay Taylor. Cheers.